Okay, back in this freaky situation. There's a dead body, John, villain, imaginary friend, Minecraft, possibly, and we have to go figure out. Wait, I should change that. We gotta go find Kurt Machinos. So, how you guys doing? I have my goggles on and I'm ready to play. My name is Sloth154 and welcome back to Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. We are currently in the middle of the case, the sacrificial lamb. As you can see, someone's already died. Last episode we got into this case. We're now looking for Kurt Machinos, who owns this mansion. He should be wearing a golden mask with stars and he is nervous. Oh, right here.
Can I ask you a question?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
Oh. This guy?
Kurt Manchios, I presume. I'm Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, you must be the one Werner told me about.
Okay.
What a sweet voice you have. It must belong to a handsome young man. Can I call you Sherlock?
Not here
As
for
you
that
wish,
kind of thing.
Mr. Manchios.
Mr.
Mr. Vogol
Machios.
asked me to help you.
Oh,
The
if you
body
like
in the
this
altar
video,
room
comment, like, and
requires answers,
subscribe. It
and
does help the
quickly.
channel.
I
Check out the
suspect the
description.
murderer
Read
to
the
still be here.
What?
subtitles so that
Lower
you
your
know
voice.
what they're saying.
Don't want anyone to hear us.
I will have links to the playlist for this entire series and other games I played on the channel. This guy's nasty. All these people here are nasty.
I need to find all those who had the key to the altar room. As far as I know, Mr. Vogel, Fabio, and you had access to it. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. Also, Matista and Santos.
Santos.
Who's that?
Who is that?
Santos Pinchetti, my major domo. In his opinion, at least.
Major Domo?
I'd like to speak to Mr. Pinchetti and Matista. Do you have somewhere I might have a private conversation with them?
Of course, of course. Let me think. Matista is entertaining the guests somewhere, and Santos... Oh, yes. He will be busy with the servants. Or the cook.
Uh-oh.
What's that noise? What's going on?
No.
Freeze, filth. You're under arrest.
They're fully armed. Why would you just shoot the gun? What the hell are they expecting? He's just straight up beating this guy. He has his hands up. He kicked him down the stairs. She's the smartest person. She hid under the stairs in the fetal position. Some shit is going on with this police department. He's about to beat this butler. Why are you sitting in a chair? These cops are just off the fucking scale.
You committed a crime, and now I have to free you, kiss your hand, and apologize for the inconvenience. You're great.
I did tell you that Mr. Vogel and I were innocent. I emphasized it in my statement.
Your statement? Thanks to some bigwigs who work for the so-called good of the country by releasing fleas like you. Thank God we have Vogel in his letter. Once I get to that goldfish, I'll...
Bigwig. Oh, my wretched brother Mycroft and his long nose.
Wait, did you say Mycroft? Mycroft Holmes? Are you the youngest son of Violet Holmes, rest her soul?
Yes. You knew my mother?
You knew my mother?
Not personally, no. Not exactly. I was working on the paperwork for that case.
Would you happen to remember anything of the events?
Well, I didn't make the inquiry, but I remember seeing some notes. Why?
Perhaps we can negotiate.
Perhaps we can negotiate. I could be quite useful.
Huh. Got you hooked, right? You know what? Stark and the others think they're the smartest here, thanks to you. Let me get this straight. Are you listening to me, lad?
Yeah.
I'm all ears.
Take this case. Report to me only, to Constable Harvey Oswald. I'll leave everything I have on this table. Find the murderer. Be a real copper. Question the suspects, make them sing, give me something substantial.
And if Mr. Vogel is not a suspect?
If he's innocent, then you can take your favourite degenerate away from here. If you slip or mess with the evidence, then trust me, your brother won't save you from my bludgeon. Meanwhile, I'll
But
be
his
checking the
brother will
archive
make
for
you disappear.
If anybody asks, then you're a consulting detective.
Let's make a start then, partner.
I'm
Can I
glad
change-
we managed to get the scoop before the rat.
Real quick. I can't change my clothes here. Well, let's look at the evidence. I'm gonna giggle about that goddamn scene while I'm editing, and every time I think about it. That guy just Sparta kicked someone down the stairs. Alright. Report number 62-60. Following report of a witness of satanic rituals who claims to have found a body, the raid on the Machinos mansion was granted. It resulted in the arrest of multiple suspects and dispersal of the group of masked and robed caught in the acts of gross indecency and unnatural behavior. It's because you don't get laid. The body of the victim was found lying on an altar with a knife wound in the chest. The officer identified the victim as Fabio, 20, a local performer and artist. Arrested suspect, Vogol. Vogol had a letter of an insulting nature in his possession, which had been written by the victim. He claims to have found the body. He is famous for his eccentric personality. S. Holmes carried a murder weapon, a dagger with the victim's blood and other items of evidence. He was invited by another suspect, Vogol, presumably to obstruct the official investigation. Fuck you. K. Machinos. Machinos is the owner of the mansion and organizer of the satanic party. It was an orgy, dude. Paid the victim to participate in the ritual, had access to the crime scene. Fabio's partner and participant in the ritual tried to escape, resisted arrest, owned a book with description of the ritual performed in the altar. Some of the guests are temporarily detained for further questioning.
Back on track to solve the case.
I, Santos Pacino, am a witness who reported a suspicion of murder at Machino's mansion in Grand Surrey. During the preparation for a social party, I heard a loud noise from the closed altar room. Immediately, I thought of the sacrifice of a living being, overviewed by none other than Kurt Machinos. There was blood on the walls, strange symbols, and a dagger in the heart. As soon as I was able to think clearly, I rushed to the police station to report my findings. The station responded to this expedition by sending a patrol. While the witness left the station, he went home. Why would you let the witness go home? Provide the ticket permission to inspect all evidence. Okay. I needed that. Mine Palace. Okay. Wait. All right. So. All right. So we need to get Santos in here. So I'm going to pin that. And I change my clothes. Can't change out of this weird shit. Jesus fucking Christ. They've been torturing people in here.
Look, I found Werner.
Good day. Your ticket, please, if you want me to help you.
I'd like to check the evidence from this case.
And who are you?
Oswald sent me. I'm a consulting detective.
His partner, then? Let me see. Ah, a ritual murder. What a bunch of degenerates.
Sure.
Wait a second. I'll bring it to the table.
They're the degenerates. I'm gonna get all the information I can before we go on. Letter from Fabio. This letter was found in Vogel's evidence box. Is your mind on the sound? You can't control your bitterness not around me, for me. It's too great a risk to ignore that kind of behavior. I can speak and play with anyone I choose. I'm not another Matista. You pay me, but you haven't bought me. Of course, I'll keep all your generous donations, even though they hardly compensate for your last terrible outburst. I'm leaving, although Matista will still be around. Fabio.
Not the time for privacy.
How is this?
An emergency kit for boredom.
Ah, drugs.
Werner's personal sketchbook. It's a miracle this ruby hasn't tempted anyone.
Yeah, evidence goes missing in this time all the
A heavily
time.
perfumed handkerchief with the initials KM in the corner. All the keys of the mansion on one golden ring. A handcrafted charm that contains hair and nail clippings. Her key to the altar room. That's not for bedtime reading. This ex libris belongs to Manchios Library.
Right, the police found this occult book in Matista's bag during the arrest. According to the ex-libris, the tome was taken from Mr. Machino's collection and contains illustrations and description of a ritual similar to the crime scene. Prepare the naked body of a recently deceased object of interest. Draw symbols of Mars and Venus to enhance the powers of your possession. To use the force of male and female nature. Pierce his heart with a golden dagger to be rid of the blood that does not love you. Draw a symbol representing your love while waiting for the resurrection. Recite the charm.
The book describes a ritual similar to the one performed in the altar room. Thank you, officer.
Okay.
I've nothing to say about this. You'd better ask me a question I know how to answer. You'd better ask me a question I know how to answer. I've nothing to say about this.
Fine.
I've nothing to say about this.
Have you considered Mr. Santos Pinchetti as a suspect?
The snitch? Have you seen him? I mean, my breath could knock him down. What's so special about him?
As a major domo, he has keys that open all the rooms, including the one to the crime scene. Could have testified only to circumvent suspicion, don't you think? We need to question him.
Right. I'll send our men to fetch him. Stay here.
Why the fuck would you let a witness to
They
a murder
brought
go
him in,
home?
Mr. Holmes. Here's the key to interrogation room number 7. Mr. Pinchetti didn't even resist, our men said.
Thank you.
Hey, Vogel.
Werner, are you all right?
Oh, yes, yes. Everything's fine. In fact, it's something of a family reunion. My brother spent quite some time in this place himself.
You should not be here. I told the police everything I knew, but they refused to let you go. They require proof to free you.
Ha!
At least you didn't
What
get
do
your
you
ass
expect?
whooped.
The mighty Sherlock Holmes swans in, tells the officers what to think, and the world obeys?
Of course not. Anyway, I struck a deal with the constable, and I've got a free hand in the investigation. I find proof to solve the case for him. He obtains files about my mother's death for me.
Well done. If one has the power or will and can act, then one must. I wonder,
Maybe.
suppose you couldn't get the proof to your truth. Would you tell a lie to the guard that enabled my freedom, knowing my innocence? Would that not be just?
There are lines I will not cross, Werner. I will do my best to secure your release, but with proof, not deception.
Really? How many white lies have you told on this island? Why not for me? Why not another?
That is absurd. I can resolve this without compromises. Do not give up hope.
Oh, where is it?
So, the police found a letter from Fabio in your pocket.
I cannot tell if it was truly in my pocket at all. Perhaps it was placed there later.
Well, that is one hypothesis. If it were true, then how did it get there?
No clue. But this night has been rather eccentric. Such a detail could have easily eluded me.
Indeed. Do you recall reading it?
I can't remember that either. But I tend to respect privacy. Reading others' personal notes is not one of my perversities.
Okay.
I'm not supposed to know anything about this. I don't think I can tell you anything about this. I don't think I can tell you anything about this. I'm not supposed to know anything about this. I don't think I can tell you anything about this.
I have learned who told the police about the crime. It was Santos Pinchetti,
Do I know him?
the major domo of the manor. He cleans up after you?
Well, then he does his job perfectly. All but invisible. I couldn't tell you the first thing about him.
Dang nabbit, you should know everyone. Let's start with Pinchetti.
I recognize the key from the altar room among these.
Okay. Santos, my hopeful slug, you begged me to include you in my will, so I did. Here's the latest revision of the will. Kurt. Text of the will under note. Santos Pinchette, the major domo of the Manchos mansion, receives a jar of mustache wax and the salt lamp that he might always remember his caring employer, Kurt Manchos.
Mr. Pinchetti, a pleasure to meet you. I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald.
I've already told him everything I know. I'm only a witness, sir. Everything's in my report.
And I've read it. You forgot to mention that you hold the keys to the room where Fabio was found. I need only to find if the crime was intentional.
But I need to return to my duties.
I doubt the house will fall without you, Mr. Pinchetti. Just be still for a few seconds.
Let's observe him. Repaired multiple times. Colored more than once. Allergies. Stepped in blood. So he was in the room. I'm gonna say he has had financial difficulties because of the patched holes, dry textiles, and not the blood. Head servant. He appears to be poor despite his high position. He's underpaid. Hides his allergy or psoriasis. Plaque psoriasis? Okay. Okay.
You are the major domo of a rich mansion, and you seem barely able to afford decent clothing. You hide under heavy makeup a skin disease that might be treated with more onerous but less harmful means. Do you have money troubles?
I do not have a lot of means. The pay is below what you might expect.
But you could easily change your job if your employer does not meet your elementary needs.
One can change his employer, that is true.
And the blood on your shoe, where does that come from?
I don't actually know. Perhaps from a guest?
Did you know the victim?
Did you know Fabio?
Not personally. He was a frequent guest, and cleaning the mess after his performances was tedious. Mr. Manchios always had a role for him, and mainly the leading one. The parties were always, Fabio-centric?
And Matista? Was she as popular as her partner?
Don't tell her I said this, but I do not think so. Mr. Manchios hired her only because Fabio refused to work without her. Mr. Manchios used to see her as a worker. She was tasked with entertaining the guests, unlike Fabio, who could pick and choose.
Okay.
Don't expect me to know anything about it.
Mr. Manchios says that you begged him to be included in the heritage. Isn't that a little extreme, even for a major domo?
He's not only my employer, he's my uncle. And I'm his next of kin. The only one. Mr. Manchios flatly refuses to pay a family member. All I have to do is repay his so-called love. Cleaning up the filth after perverts and decadents. He's imprisoned me. The best I can hope for is a new broom. That's why I wanted to have my part of the inheritance.
Is it that bad? You have a roof above your head, a salary, and the status of a major domo.
For God's sake. I'm forced to dye and stitch my threadbare clothes, and the holes in my shoes are painful. I'm ashamed every time a guest looks at me closely.
Why do you think your uncle treats you this way?
He's a dick.
My uncle's sister, had me illegitimately. She died, and I was given the surname of one of the maids.
But you are entitled to some of the money that belongs to your family.
He thinks not.
By law.
I was not responsible for my mother's death. I work hard, and he pays me nothing. I feed on the leftovers. While he wastes our estate's property on decadent parties, he paid Fabio handsomely and showered him with expensive gifts for their disgusting relationship.
All right. Nope. New Mind Palace stuff. All right, so those letters were addressed to Kurt. Right, more evidence. I would have left. All right. Gonna go with that one for right now. Don't go anywhere, because they will beat you to death. Ah! Hello.
I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald. You are Matista, Fabio's friend.
This body, yes, it's Matista. But it's a mere shell that will die someday. Just like Fabio.
Huh.
Please accept my condolences for your friend.
Thank you.
I'm just here to ask questions and find Fabio's murderer.
It will not bring Fabio back.
Let's observe her first. It's really close to my face. Obtained recently. Inks herself. Self-inflicted. Bitten nails. Shackle scars. Oh. Inflicting with a hot branding iron. Did I get this one right?
Fabio and yourself were slaves, am I correct? You have a similar branding on your body.
Yes. It was a long time ago.
Couldn't help but also notice fresh cuts upon your forearms.
The cuts helped me to
Alright, I got
forget
that
my
right.
past, to cover the old wounds and hide them.
How did you escape?
Something happened. One night the master fell down the stairs. I made him fall, and he died. We ran away that day. We managed to get on a ship and traveled here, to Gordona. Fabio and I started a new life here. It was very hard at first, but it became better with time. Until today.
The bruises on your neck are not self-inflicted. Someone else made them.
Some guests can't contain themselves. They even bite, sometimes.
Okay.
Could Fabio have written this letter to Kurt Manchios?
Oh. That could be. I never thought Mr. Manchios could make Fabio that angry, though.
What do you mean?
Well, Fabio wanted to disassociate from Mr. Manchios. Clients who are in love are both a blessing and a curse.
But Fabio was here tonight.
Money. In our line of work, we can't afford to turn down clients who pay as well as Kurt Manchios.
Was Fabio afraid of Mr. Manchios?
Not at all. The old toad wouldn't dare to do more than sweet talk and touching. Talk can be forgotten, and touching washed away.
Okay.
I have nothing to add. I have nothing to say.
This book, The Power of Love, Blood, and Mandrake, what do you hope to achieve?
To learn more about the invisible strengths that govern us. Occultism is real. The master who fell that night when Fabio and I escaped. I made him fall. I cast a spell on him and it worked.
Or was it a coincidence?
The universe is rarely so lazy.
It is extremely lazy.
Do you practice occult rituals?
For protection? For fortune? To wash away the ugliness of the world? Sometimes to survive. I have the gift, and I'm learning to use it better.
Did you use your gift on Fabio?
I only used white magic. Love charms lately. Fabio became so distant. I just wanted him to be with me, but I suppose I'm not as skilled as I thought.
God damn, I keep doing that. All right. from the evidence we know, Fabio didn't really get a chance to fight the person he was assaulted by. So this has to be the truth. Hey, don't go anywhere. How's it going, you old perv?
Good day, Mr. Manchios. I am Constable Oswald's partner in this investigation.
Be quick and gentle. Some of your colleagues are untrained boors. Although I don't mind meeting young officers. The new blood here.
If
Dude,
you cooperate in
keep it in
finding
your
Fabio's
pants. This is
murderer,
not the
there
time.
will be no need to meet with the Boers again.
That voice. Werner's friend? You're the policeman. What a disappointment.
Only an undercover agent can scour a ditch full of deviants. I am a consulting detective, although I'm capable of replacing the entire department through my consultations.
Sharp-tongued, I like it. May I presume this tongue will get us out of this trouble? I would be so indebted and glad to repay you.
Nothing's changed. I'm looking for the murderer. That's the only way to get us out of trouble.
But it shouldn't take much time, correct? We're all busy after all.
I need to examine you first.
Let's observe this creepy old man. Wears makeup. Rash from exposure to hair dye. Washed his hands in a hurry. Lavishly expensive. He hides his age. Okay, extremely rich. Wants to hide his age from the younger participants. He's an old perv.
You are a little over the top with your use of makeup, Mr. Manchios. Is it so difficult for you to acknowledge your age?
Well, Sherlock, that's easy for you to say to an old man when you look as though you are barely 15.
But still, it shouldn't be an issue for someone of your
If he
status.
looks 15 to you,
For
why do you
people
keep
of
hitting on
my
him?
age, it isn't an issue, no. But the younger ones can be so afraid of wrinkles and grey flecks. I have to adapt.
Such a methodical man who cares for his body but misses the soap under his fingernails. Are you so impatient, or perhaps even impulsive?
I wouldn't call myself that. Silly little details. If I missed it, it wasn't important. Or rather, it was less important than who or what I was focused on.
Mr. Vogel told me a little about your parties, but I would like to know more directly from you.
I'm all yours, Sherlock. You have me arrested and locked here, with you alone.
Why did you invite Mr. Vogel as your special guest?
Really?
He's a pretty fellow. He's capable of surprising the public. He has a talent for saying words that no one else would wish to either say or hear.
I suppose I can't argue with that.
He is a free addition to the eccentricity of the party, which is fine by me, as long as it enhances my party.
I'd
Who
like
else
to know
did you
who
invite?
you usually invite to your parties.
Free minds who are able to leave reality for an evening, who can taste forbidden fruit without prejudice. There is nothing that quite spices up life like these parties, assuming one is old enough and has worked many years for the good of one's country.
Oh, all true laborers, I see.
Sure.
What was Fabio like? His personality, his habits? Anything you can tell me?
He was the brightest star of my parties. Young, magnetic, and full of energy. I don't even want to mention his beauty. Otherwise, I'll be sobbing.
An expensive champion, I imagine.
His performances were flawless. He deserved his payment. Do you think he was murdered because of money?
Possibly. What about the other guests? Were they used to opening their wallets as well?
I wouldn't restrict my guests from anything. I'm sure Fabio received a few coins from others for his services.
All right.
Do you recognize this book? Could Matista have borrowed it from your library?
She didn't ask me. How ungrateful.
The things described in the book were inspiration for the rituals you performed?
Do you really believe that blood, symbols, and incantations can resurrect the dead? They are just eerie tales with a mix of occultism and voodoo. My rituals are a stage to show some of the forbidden pleasures.
Okay. Still fucking weird.
There is undeniable evidence that you were the original recipient of this letter.
What are you talking about? Is it addressed to me?
Your protege wanted a fresh start, it seems. This is sufficient to charge you.
Me? Hurt my star? Are you insane that you would accuse me of such a thing?
He did not consider himself as yours. Since you deny everything, let's move on. Do you have any idea as to how the letter could have ended up in Mr. Vogel's pocket?
You were the detective. Perhaps he took it from Fabio. Werner was a little high.
Little high, huh?
That's not something I know much about. That's not something I know much about.
I've read the letter about your will. A harsh method of ridiculing Santos. I doubt he will use mustache wax when he wears no mustache to begin with.
Where did you get it? Is the slug here? Tell him I shouldn't have to provide for him. He's a grown man who shouldn't sit on his uncle's neck. He conceives himself as my only heir.
And who is he to you?
He's a leech on my aging body. He has only added problems to my life since the death of his mother.
I fail to see why you made him your major domo.
He needed to know his place, so I taught him.
Okay.
I've no idea about that. I've no idea about that. You'd better ask someone else. That's not something I know much about.
You bought an expensive pair of cufflinks for Fabio. Were they his price? Or were they a tip for an exclusive show?
It was pure business. Fabio escorted me a few times. I was merely showing my gratitude.
This pair cost a small fortune. You must be extremely grateful then. Tell me more.
You've thrust a knife in an exposed nerve, Sherlock. Yes, he was my protege and my beacon also. With my experience and his beauty, we could have achieved anything. I had faith in him. I would have made him.
Okay. Weird thing to say.
You'd better ask someone else. You'd better ask someone else. I've no idea about that. You'd better ask someone else.
Do you have any idea who tipped off the police to raid your mansion, Mr. Manchios?
Of course. It was you. I could even say you Sherlocked me in here.
A good guess, but the wrong one. The fellow who did that was Mr. Pinchetti, your major domo.
What? Santos? But how could he even know? If he's not the murderer himself. The ungrateful swine. He has dared to besmirch my reputation.
Not a very eloquent choice of words.
What should I call him then, since he's a snitch? Make him talk, Sherlock. I'm quite certain he knows more about the murder than he has told the police.
Okay. Let's go to the Mind Palace real quick. All right. I'm gonna save that one. Wait. No, wait. Because of what we know, it's not that he sets himself up. I'm gonna put it there. Right now, everything's pointing at Kurt, but I still have some things I need to look up. So I'm gonna look around for a bit and see if I can find any information. All right, guys. It's time to make a decision on his sentencing. All the evidence with everything we know points to Kurt Machinos. For years, Fabio played with Kurt Machinos' heart and abused his interest in the young performer. When Machinos received yet another rejection, he murdered Fabio and staged a love ritual to avoid suspicion. Now we can either choose a crime of passion. Kurt Machinos was heartbroken and panicked, did not mean to kill Fabio. The improvised ritual was a desperate attempt to cover up the crime. A prison sentence should be enough, for his harsher punishment is the death of his love. Or sexual predator. Kurt Machinos killed Fabio in cold blood. He staged the crime as a ritual to blame Mastia. He planted a letter in Vogel's pocket to avoid suspicion. Machinos has no consideration for the life of others and deserves to be hanged. I'm gonna flip my coin. Almighty quarter. Heads, crime and passion. Tails, sexual predator. It came up tails. Sorry, Mr. Kurt. You're gonna hang for this. Alright. Recording. Yakuza!
The murder of Fabio did not have a ritual purpose, Mr. Manchios. It was staged by a man who wished to distract the investigation.
That might be true. That poor girl Matista wouldn't dare to kill the only man who cared for her. So, Santos.
Mr. Pinchetti snatched at the chance to solve his problems.
Ungrateful little scum. Will he be executed?
But what for? He informed the police as to the crime, that was all. He couldn't stage the ritual, but he found the body, I believe.
I can't believe it. Why did Werner do it?
Mr. Vogel. He had no reason, and he won't be a scapegoat as you plan. You put Fabio's letter in his pocket when he was intoxicated, didn't you?
You can't be serious.
I'm very serious.
We can very often deduce someone's life by their shoes or their fingernails. You are a meticulous person, but this murder was fairly traumatic and filthy. After you stabbed Fabio, you were covered in blood. You panicked and neglected to rinse the soap from under your fingernails. The devil is in the details, Mr. Manchios.
Nonsense. I missed it simply because of the busy schedule of the party.
Of course, a staged murder was certainly not planned. You're at the twilight of your life. You have no partner, you have no children. You had feelings, however, for one man. That was Fabio. You loved him. That is, you wished to own him with money and gifts. But he was also a free mind, was he not? He turned his back on you. Quite unjust. Love, so cruel and painful, and Fabio, with his words and deeds, made you feel the more wretched. So you killed him.
You must surely perceive that my sensitive nature wouldn't allow me to hurt anyone.
You staged the murder as a satanic ritual. It was easy for you, since you were the one who wrote the scenarios for the parties. It was your way of avoiding suspicion.
I really hope I got this
A
right.
respectable man in his 60s,
Early 60s.
who hosts
Late
the cream
60s.
of Cordona society, cannot possibly be a murderer. But the guests who behave like animals in his mansion, of course, one of them could have killed Fabio.
I did oversee a few of the rituals, but I did not stage Fabio's death.
It was premeditated murder.
The young performer played with your emotions. That was painful to realize. You spent so much time and effort to be with Fabio, but he didn't respond in the way you would have liked. You wanted to be loved, but Fabio shattered your dreams. In the smoking lounge, he teased and mocked you. He wanted you to suffer by offering himself to others. The deception was unbearable. You struck him, and then you staged the ritual. You planted the letter in Vogel's pocket and attempted to set up Matista.
What poppycock? Sherlock, stop this game now.
There is no stop word, Mr. Manchios. Relax and enjoy it. I'll pass the remainder of this case to Constable Oswald. He'll know what to do with you.
I really hope I got this right.
I have a name for you. Kurt Manchios.
Is that so? The master of the Sabbath?
The man himself. Mr. Manchios couldn't stand to lose control over his lover. A deadly revenge that deserves a proper sentence. I have all the evidence to charge him.
A degenerate and a murderer. I'll make a name thanks to that for sure. As for my part, not everything was in place. Perhaps some documents were transferred somewhere else, but I couldn't find a trace of them. Then I remembered. The discarded document drawers where we put the lost papers or the badly labelled ones. Including the crime scene report of Violet Holmes's case.
Okay,
Everything
that
I
helps.
found is on the desk here. Take it.
Your persistence has saved me.
Yeah, well, we had a deal after all. Your friend is free then. You can leave.
Good luck, Constable.
Okay, I'll take this. It's on the desk. Where? No. What desk? This one? Okay, here's the report. Report 07-43. Officers arrived to find the deceased identified as Mrs. Violet Holmes lying in the garden of Stonewood Manor. Visual inspection showed the victim to be thoroughly soaked with a deep vertical incision 2 inches in length down her throat. Her face was swollen and covered in red blotches, likely the case of death. Hypoxia awaiting confirmation from the medical examiner. Main suspect Otto Richter was arrested on the scene. The body was sent for autopsy. So suicide or murder? Wait, vertical. Huh. Okay. Did Sherlock find his mother?
The garden. There's a garden behind our manor. How could I forget? That's where it all happened, where it all went wrong.
Sherry, it looks like you've almost found what you wanted.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, we're close to the truth. Let's go get Vogel. Oh, is he gone?
I'll remember this horror forever.
I'd weep if I had any tears left at all.
Can I finally change my clothes? God damn it.
This area's restricted.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you did it, Sherlock! The case is closed and all rewards belong to the winner. Bravo!
It is merely the triumph of the truth.
Is it?
Has he been behind all
compromises?
of these
No
murders?
lies? You're happy with your decisions?
Whatever the truth, it had to be revealed. The victim deserved it.
Well, you seem confident in the value of your actions. I guess
Has
if
he
they're
been the
free,
one
you were
killing
right
all
after
these
all.
people?
By the
Except
way,
for the
did you get
first
that
one?
precious information about your mother. Oh, not that you must.
Yes, I did.
Forgive my intrusion in such a personal matter. I simply worry I'm failing to be of much help to you.
Actually, you were. For some reason, all the archives on the case had disappeared. This was a rare opportunity to obtain the impossible.
Outrageous. Perhaps someone found the truth unpleasant. Society usually rejects those who speak with too much honesty, doesn't it?
A comfortable lie is often preferred to an uncomfortable truth. Still, I believe that the latter should prevail, and I cannot remain silent.
That's quixotism at its best. Your mere truth cannot defeat institutions, systems, and power. Etiquette, religion, marriage, they're all lies told to preserve connections, love, and sanity. And it's all corruptible.
It
Lies
is, very much
destroy
so.
human dignity. How could you make a free decision without any knowledge of the truth?
Are we really free to decide anything in
No,
this
we're
world,
not.
Sherlock?
Oh yes. It's a struggle, but yes, we can make our own decisions. That's what I fight for.
And what an endless fight it is. Will you ever give yourself a break, Sherlock?
I don't think he
You're a walking
will.
contradiction, Sherlock. You refuse to lie to others, but constantly lie to yourself. How long until the train comes off the track? I cannot look away, but perhaps I should take a few steps back. You're an accident waiting to happen, dear. Until then, I shall bid you adieu.
Okay. Can I change my clothes? Fucking finally. So I'm gonna head back to the house. I will see you guys once I get there. But I'm gonna go on some furniture shopping. Alright guys, I'm back at the house. I also got some other things that we need to do before we go on. So I was able to buy some things that should have restored this room.
I
Yeah,
can
see?
sense an incoming memory, Sherry. Do you?
Sharp and well balanced. It would be a pity to leave such a tool.
Let's see.
Behind.
There we go. We're gonna get these memories done before we do the next thing.
I was so frustrated to find only one bed in this room. Mycroft initially refused to bring another for you, but after a week-long dispute, he gave in.
What a stubborn man. How well do you think he would sleep without a bed?
Oh! Mycroft is a good brother. He's an asshole, but a good brother. Oh yeah,
I'm looking forward to learning to play it.
I got him
As
a
soon as I have some
violin.
free time. The most important thing is not to taste it. The first chemical laboratory I ever made. I almost miss its elegant simplicity. I'll never forget how challenging it was to obtain this simple sketch.
These trophies?
You do miss her.
Of course he
I
does.
do. A magnificent tool made for a spurious purpose, staring into the sky. I've definitely found a better use for it.
Alright. I also restored the mother's room. So we're gonna check that out before we go downstairs.
Oh, the room looks nice now. It's comforting to see the way it was meant to be.
My mother always preferred to spend her rare moments of lucidity with me.
That's true. She even stopped Mycroft from joining you. Remember?
I do. He didn't show it, but he was upset. I think Mother paid more attention to me because
Oh,
I
there
was
he is.
younger.
In her rare moments of lucidity, Sherlock's mother always wanted to spend time with them. One day she found us returning to play, and she helped us apply stage makeup in front of a mirror. Mycroft wanted to join us, but she refused. He didn't show it, but I know he was upset by this. Always paid more attention to Sherry because he was younger. Understandable. I'm an older sibling. I understand that. But I also understand why young kids need more attention. Mycroft had his time with his mother, and Sherlock only had a limited time. Let's get back to this.
Sherry, please listen to me. Sherry,
John, I always listen to you.
you don't have to do this. You don't have to go through. I don't know what is beyond this door, but I can feel it. Buzzing, angry, like a fly at the window.
I know. I can sense it too.
You locked away this
Sherlock
memory for a
found his
reason.
mother's body.
There is only pain here.
Pain. And truth.
You do not need to suffer either. There is so much more we can do on Cordona, so many others we can help. There is no coming back from this.
So I guess I made it to the end. I'll finish this.
John, my animum, my brother, there is nothing more important in this moment than this truth. I know you fear for me, but my path was set long ago. I can no more step off it than I can ask the avalanche to roll back uphill.
Just Please be careful, Sherry. I love you.
Quite. Come on. We'll go together.
Oh god, this seems like it's going to be a very painful memory. Yeah, let's do this. No.
Why didn't I remember we had such a big garden?
Maybe you forgot it for your own good.
That's too late. It's time to do this. So I guess this episode's going to be the finale.
The statue of Merope. My mother was trying to restore it. Pity she never had the opportunity to finish.
That's where it happened, but we got to keep looking. I can't even run here.
Is that the raft we made together, John?
Looks more like a pile of rotten planks now.
Yeah, every kid's tried that.
That's from Mother's favorite tea set. What is it doing in here?
Oh no. Otto was giving her the stuff through the tea.
Come here, Sherry. Hurry!
These must help calm her down.
No! Oh god, no, Sherlock!
What are you thinking about?
No! Oh, this is heartbreaking. Tell me that's not what I think it is. Oh man, that's heartbreaking. No, that's it. Is that why Minecraft kept it a secret? Did Sherlock accidentally OD his mother? Oh, that sounds... Oh, I hope this isn't what I think it is.
What are you thinking about? Is everything all right?
Oh, John's disappearing. That's actually sending a bit of a shiver down my spine.
I remember this artifact from Mother's collection. Mother's work journal. I liked poring over the detailed pages and reading about my parents' collection.
Here it is. We'll just borrow it for a while.
Did you hear that? Someone's coming. Let's take a peek. You call this progress? Charlotte, amateur. I'm not letting you anywhere near my mother again.
Any result is progress, even if it is a worsening of her condition. It informs my...
No. I have made my decision. She must be sent to a legitimate medical facility. I will not let her hurt Sherlock.
What? Master Holmes, you do not understand.
That will be all. I expect you to have left the house by week's end.
Okay.
Sherry, say something. Can you hear me? You're scaring me.
I'm waiting for you.
What? Oh. Okay.
Sherlock, I'm here. Come closer. I'm waiting for you.
Coming, Mother! This was for my mother, wasn't it? I remember how we came to the garden for a breath of fresh air.
Take me to my flowers, Sherry. They must already be in bloom.
As you wish, Mum.
This is getting really depressing.
I bet you missed the fresh air, didn't you?
Terribly. The sun is far brighter than I remember. But I like it.
We can walk each day from now on, if you want.
That would be wonderful.
Oh, God.
Just look at them. The stars of the earth. Even the sky must be jealous of their beauty.
Indeed.
All right, let's continue.
Mother, would you like to go around the water?
That would be perfect. I always wanted such a nice pond in London. It looks so peaceful.
Mycroft knew you would like it.
That boy does so much.
We should put some fish in it, don't you think?
How about some carp?
That's a nice idea.
But nice and colorful. Not too delicious. But I guess you weren't putting them in there for food. I'm trying everything to avoid
Let's
this
visit
subject.
your father's tree. It grows so fast, just like you.
We could even build a tree house in it.
Yes, Sherry.
Oh, God. John's his memory of his mother.
Speaking of your father, could you call him out, please?
Mom! I'm sorry. He passed away. He's gone.
No, he's not.
I'm telling the truth. Did you forget again?
No, don't you dare say such things.
You
are a liar like all the others.
Mother!
Don't call me that. You aren't fooling me.
No! Mom, it hurts!
What the fuck?
My son would never lie.
Mom, stop!
Who are you? Reveal yourself.
Please, stop! It's me, Sherlock!
No.
You are not my Sherry. Give me my stuff. I can't stop you.
This is all fucked. Oh, God. Minecraft, no. I don't know what the fuck happened. Why is this game so open-ended? No, let's go back. Let's switch it to this and this. What? None of these help. What the hell am I supposed to do? Oh fuck, this is why I love the coin. Alright, this is gonna be 2 flips. Actually, this is gonna be 1 flip. If we choose the auto Richter, if auto Richter comes up, I'm going to choose an accident. Because this is what we saw. I didn't see this. I didn't see this at all. We saw this. But we also saw, just switch this back. And we also saw this. Because John didn't think of giving her this sedative. It was Sherlock. Well, they're both it. So, first flip. Heads, John and I are responsible. Tails, Otto Richter is responsible. Heads. Fuck. Alright, one more flip. Because I want this one to be certain, it's gonna be 2 out of 3. Heads, John is the killer. Tails, I killed her. Sherlock killed her. So I'm gonna flip my coin 3 times. First one is heads. John. Tails. I'm not kidding, it's tails. Heads. Oh my god, I fucking hate this. But this does fit with Minecraft's reasoning. Minecraft is very calculated and proficient. He wouldn't just blame Otto if there wasn't a reason for it. So my answer for this game is John's the killer. I'm going with what the coin said. Fucking fine. God damn it. I don't want to do this.
Sherlock. Sherlock. Can you hear me? Come on, wake up.
Get off me.
Sherry.
You knew, and more than that, you hid it from me.
You couldn't bear the truth, Sherlock, so I shouldered it for you. I took your pain, your horror.
You. It was your idea. The sedative, that was you.
She was hurting us. Sherry, I couldn't bear to see you suffer.
So you killed my mother. My worst impulses, my darkest thoughts, they're you. You were a lie, John. A fiction. A crutch.
No, I was a friend. Sherlock, please.
This is fucking terrible.
Are you okay?
I don't know.
I told you not to come, Sherlock. Where is he?
Who?
Your friend, John.
He's beside you.
Was all this worth it? Is he worth it?
Why is he here?
I think, in his own way, he was trying to protect me. From a truth I couldn't bear. But now I must face it.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Whoa, 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 Sherry. What are you doing?
There is only one way through.
Through what? What do you mean?
My entire life, my work, my mind, has been compromised by a malignant force, by a perversion of rationality. By you, John. You're a tumor. You're a poison.
Sherlock.
No.
And like a tumor, you must be excised for the health of the patient.
No. No, this is the lie, Sherry. I protected you. I am your friend, your brother. You know me. You know me. I was always there for you. When your mother lashed out, I took the hit. When you were alone, I held you. She was sick. She needed to calm down. I helped her.
You killed her.
No. Yes. No. But it was not meant. Please. Please. I'm scared.
This is fucked. Just look at the sunset.
I know.
Just look at the sunset. Minecraft has seen all this crazy shit.
Are you all right?
I think, on the balance of things, no.
That is good news. To be unaffected by today's events would place you in a different pathology entirely. Your time on Cordona is over, Sherlock. Tomorrow we shall board a vessel back to London, and all this, it stays here.
He's gone, Mycroft. I needed to take control. He would help me, but it was a lie but he's gone. I knew he was wrong. Do you see? I am free. I just had to act.
Help your brother, Minecraft. He is spiraling.
Yes. In that respect, you are your mother's son.
Holy hell. This is heavy. Jesus fucking Christ.
Why are you here?
Closure, I suppose. And to help a friend.
You and I are not friends. In a race between the thawing of the ice caps and our friendship, I would buy a boat.
Ha! Is that right?
I can see it now. I know what you did. What did I do? You needled me. From the moment we met, you were searching for weakness. You pushed me to pursue the truth about my mother. You questioned everything I did, everything I believed, to break me. To blur truth and fiction, reality, morality. A saboteur in silk.
I know he's Otto's brothers.
Or do you prefer Klaus?
Yeah.
Excuse me? You are Klaus Richter, Otto's younger brother. Do you hold me responsible for his end?
Ha! There was no love lost between me and my brother. I am sure you can relate. Otto was merely the gravity that pulled me into your orbit. Or you into mine. Once I met you, I could not keep away.
Why? What reason do you have for all this?
To help you.
You're lying.
To show you that you were wrong.
More lies. I know you now, Werner. Try again.
To see what had happened. Or is that yet another untruth? Does it matter? Take your pick. Who cares? You're my masterpiece. I turned Sisyphus into Ozymandias. You could not see the futility of your quest until I helped you to let go of the rock. And now, nothing beside remains.
I remain. Despite you and to spite you.
It is a matter of will and power now.
Holy
Will you
shit.
overcome this, or shall you decay?
This person's
Oh,
twisted
on that
and
note,
awesome.
I brought you something.
In an
I
evil
want
way.
Nothing more from you.
When one wants for nothing, Sherlock, the best thing to get them is something personal. So, here you are. Now, please excuse me, but the gallery calls. I'm already conceiving my next project.
Fucking rich weirdos. Nice L rendition.
You really are beautiful.
I am all right. I returned to London and enrolled at Cambridge University.
Okay.
Their professors leave something to be desired, or perhaps I simply lack the interest in all but a few lectures. I prefer to spend my time at the local hospital pursuing things of practical use. Medical research, chemical tests and the like. Empirical truths. I try not to think about you. I try not to think about anyone unless it is in the course of an investigation. I've started to help people with their menial mysteries. It keeps the mind occupied. I cannot risk otherwise. I'm not like her. I'm not like you. I am all right.
Fucking hell.
I found it! I found it! I found it!
And what is that?
What was that? Is that Watson?
How far, bruises may be produced after death. How are you? You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive.
That is Watson.
How on earth did you know that?
Never mind. The question now is about bruising. No doubt you see the significance of this discovery of mine.
It is interesting, no doubt, but practically...
Why, it is the most practical medico-legal discovery for years. Had we these data sooner, hundreds of men would have paid the penalty for their crimes. Cases oft hinge upon how a man died. Now, we can know which wounds he suffered alive, which occurred post-mortem, and what instrument was responsible. And ergo,
That is
one
extremely
will soon be able
important.
to calculate with utmost precision when and where death occurred, sparing the innocent and damning the guilty.
Well, then you are to be congratulated.
Indeed. But you came here on business.
Correct again.
I am looking for someone with whom to take diggings, and heard you were complaining that you could get no one to go halves with you.
I have my eye on a suite in Baker Street.
Oh, looking for a
suit us
roommate.
down to the ground. You don't mind the smell of strong tobacco, I hope?
I smoke ships myself.
That's good enough. I get in the dumps at times, and don't open my mouth for days on end. Just let me alone, and I'll soon be right. What have you to confess now? It's best for two fellows to know what bruises each other carries before they begin to live together. My last companion and I...
Well, I object to rows because my nerves are shaken, and I get up at all sorts of ungodly hours, and I am extremely lazy. I have
Brother-in-arms
another
there.
set of vices when I'm well, but those are the principal ones at present.
Do you include violin playing in your category for rout?
It depends on the player. A well-played violin is a treat for the gods. A badly played one.
Oh, no, that's all right. I think we may consider the thing as settled. Oh, forgive my manners. My attention wavers.
This is a...
Sherlock Holmes.
Dr. John Watson.
John.
Oh, fuck. So that's why Sherlock was so attached to Watson. And that's why he calls him Watson instead of John. Alright, and that is the end of Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. This was fucking heavy. So I'm gonna sit through these credits. If anything else interesting happens, I will let you guys back. You guys will be brought back for it. But I'm gonna sit through these, watch what happens. I'm gonna go lie down because this is a lot. So I'll see you guys as soon as these are over. All right, guys, and that is the end. This is a difficult game for me mentally. The other Sherlock games all had definitive endings. If you got all the evidence right, everything lined up perfectly, it wasn't left as open-ended as this. I don't even know if I got a good ending, and I'm not gonna try to find out any others because this ending itself, I probably won't sleep tonight. This is a lot to take, and I'm not even in this fucking world. Sherlock, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. And while the credits were running, I looked it up. There's no way to know if you got the right ending or not. No one can give me a straight answer. It's left open-ended so that you decide, and I don't like that. The other ones, if you got all the evidence right, there was a definitive answer to all the cases. Only the first case ended like that. I wasn't left confused and hoping I picked the right person. But all in all, the only other problem I had with it was there was no real way to speed up traveling the city in my own stupid brain. Otherwise, it's a good game. It's an intriguing game. There are other possibilities for all the cases and everything else in this game. If you want to see them, I can recommend you look it up. You play the game. It's on Steam. It's on Epic. It's on most platforms. I'm just heartbroken over this. And this kind of reveals why he's so attached to Watson and why he won't call Watson John. Not really call him John. But my God, they did a good job. I feel this emotionally devastated by the truth that I discovered. They did a good job with this story and game. It looks amazing. With my new computer setup, I was finally able to play a game in high quality. There was a few hiccups there and there, but it still ran very well. So, if you like this series, comment, like, and subscribe. Tell me what you think about the ending. Tell me if you played this game, what ending you got and how that affected you. I don't even care about spoilers right now. This is just fucked. This is fucked. If you made it this far in the series, Prime thanks you. And yeah, I'm gonna go lay down. I'll see you in the next game. Bye.